Who else can you see through the square window? Products like this, right? There are companies in Australia, huge companies, making, you know, nutrients and all sorts of stuff, making lots and lots of money from our community, as though it's some sort of, like, you know, stagnant fishing pond.
Gone.
And then you've got other companies and other businesses like Stealth Gardens, you know, and Forest Gallery, TMB, you know. You've got people like Franco out there who just has this thing in his heart where he just really wants to see everyone have the right piece of glass in their hands to appreciate their herb. He wants to be able to help, as a lot of people do. Our community is made up of individuals that help, that participate, that come down here. Nobody gets paid, nobody makes a dollar. You know, more often than not, it costs more than a dollar. You know, a lot more. Sausages that don't get eaten, sausages that, you know, get shed around. Because it's not a money-making exercise. This is a community coming together in a beautiful place that we've been coming to for a number of years. It is a beautiful community of people that all month long and all year long are doing everything they can to move us closer and closer to the end of Prohibition. It's not just a, once a month kind of thing. It's not like church. You don't just have to turn up once a week and go, end Prohibition. It's a living, breathing thing. Our community, it isn't just a little stagnant community. It's not like ordinary communities. Our community is a campaign for change. It is, the way things are right now is wrong. We must change them. And in order to do that, we need assistance. So when companies like, you know, Stealth Garden, I mean, I got Aussie Magic Grow Juice, you know, even those guys, natural stuff, no PGRs. I'm not doing ads, I promise. These guys, they're just like, we had the expo here, you know, they were doing giving out lots of sort of like bits and pieces. So, you know, as an individual, you go out and you get some stuff, that's really cool. And I thought, you know what, we've got some beautiful members in our community, and I think they deserve some sort of recognition for the little things that they do that nobody else knows about. There's so many people that are doing things that nobody ever hear about, you know? And it's important that we remember that our community is made up of those little people doing those little tasks that move us further forward. Raising awareness. Task number one. For decades, the government, medical fraternities have tried to give a completely biased and untrue impression of cannabis. Like, here we are standing in Flagstaff Gardens in the year 2017, and I'm happy to report that there has never, ever, ever been a recorded death caused by cannabis. Imagine that. I mean, cannabis has been around forever, and in this country alone, we have a cannabis industry that turns over more than $11 billion every year. But nobody's getting killed. If you've got a really bad headache and you take, I don't know, 21 aspirins, you know what? You'll never, ever, ever have a headache again because you'll be dead. You know, if you want to have a drink of, you know, really fine vodka, and you drink, I don't know, a gallon or two and you're not Russian born, chances are you'll be dead. If you jump out of an aeroplane and don't bother to pull the ripcord, you'll be dead. If you get behind the wheels of a car and you travel at 100 kilometres an hour and you hit something, you'll be dead. See, there's a lot of things in life that will kill you. And yet, we can do them. We have access to them. We go into a supermarket and buy a huge box of aspirin. I could buy enough aspirin to kill the world. Nobody would care. Why do they care so much about a plant that has never killed anyone? Our police are having their resources stretched. Our courts are being jammed up. Why? For offences related to a plant that has never, ever, ever harmed an individual. Never killed a single person. And when you go, oh my God, it causes psychosis. No, it doesn't. All the research, you know, that's the stuff you call the studies that have been peer-reviewed and are actually reputable. They all say cannabis. And there's no causal link to psychosis. As a matter of fact, cannabis is now being used in many forms of treatment as far as mental and brain conditions. Everything from like Alzheimer's to schizophrenia. Go figure. You should keep up with what's going on. Autism in Israel. See, they are so far ahead of us, having been researching the medical aspects of cannabis since the 70s. Nutrients, you know, cool hats, whatever, slaps. I mean, this bottle alone is not cheap, you know. None of this stuff is, and there's actually 2 bottles of this, which is absolutely magic. Seriously, Aussie magic. I like the fire engines, but not when they're going to a fire. So, if you want to come down to Flagstaff Gardens and buy a raffle ticket, it's 3 for $5 or $2 each. And I've got a little box there for the MCUA if you want to donate. Because organisations that run on donations, and we're not like, you know, the money doesn't come to individuals. There's no, everyone's getting rich here. Nobody gets rich here. Some of us older ones, we've actually worked. You know what I mean? Some of us might have even had really, really good jobs, you know, and have basically decided that what is more important is to actually make the world the way it needs to be. You know, there's some things that have to go. Prohibition's one of them. Poverty, homelessness. Do we really need those things in society? No, we don't have them in our community. When someone's like, you know, gets kicked out, we give them a bed. I was talking to someone the other day. It was quite funny. Like, in the general community, it doesn't matter what it is. You know what I mean? It's like this credit cards, whatever. It's interest. You know what I mean? Like, people will give you things, but only if you will not just give it back, but give them more. The cannabis community, the smoker side of it exists like this whole, it's cash flow business. But you know what it also is? It's credit, and there's no interest. Like, if you get cannabis on credit, and you go to pay for it on your payday, you don't pay the price of the cannabis plus 25% interest. You know why? Because helping someone doesn't have to be an opportunity to help yourself, other than helping yourself become a better person. Think about it. This world has the potential to be a beautiful experience. There's some absolutely amazing people fulfilling it. They're all, you know, locked in boxes, offices, jobs. Nothing wrong with working, but when you think about the fact that you spend a huge percentage of your time asleep, do you really want to be spending 40, 50, 60, 70 hours sitting doing something that somebody else wants you to be doing, rather than appreciating the world around you? Maybe if we all worked a little bit less, shared the work out a little bit, everyone have work, who knows? Never been tried, I guess. It'd be nice if there were a little bit more. Today, I don't want to think about the bad stuff. I want us to think about the fact that this is a beautiful park that should be filled with happy, beautiful people enjoying this beautiful day and the company of other beautiful people. Oh, look, see, they're starting to filter in. So they sort of like sit around the peripherals And then I'll start a stream and they go, oh look, yeah, it's okay, it's pretty quiet, let's go. And they'll start filtering in. That's why we got sort of a bit stuffed up. My app was playing up before. And it shut down. But a big thank you again. Like the Hemp Expo, HHI, love being there. And the people that go there, showing, mate, the best of us. And the versatility of that bloody plant. Because it's more than just this. But what this is beautiful people. Happiness. So, we've got, I told you about Hempsec, they got Operation Wet the Whistle, I think I mentioned. You want to say hello to someone? No. It's funny, you know, they go, oh yeah, and then they go, Cameron. Oh, no. Hempsec, I do actually want to spend a couple of minutes talking about them because they are this really beautiful hidden thing in Melbourne. It's an aspect of, you know, the collective anonymous. They are focused on our community, doing what they can to help. But not just our community, people, you know? They don't go up to someone and go, oh, do you smoke cannabis before they offer help? You know? Like everyone in our community, we help other human beings when they need it. That's, I think, the focus. When the laws do change, we're not asking for you to absorb us into the general community so we can be like you. No. I'd like the general community to look at our community, look at an industry that turns over $11 billion a year. Doesn't charge interest. Doesn't pay tax. Employs thousands across Australia in various roles. Okay. See, that's what exists today, that industry. Law or not. Except that that industry is in the hands of criminals. And because of that, terrible things can and do happen. Ending the harm of prohibition ends many harms. Not just the arrests. Our community have got some amazing people in this industry. There's growers. Like, we've had guests from overseas. Like, I've been around for 1,001 years. People take me blindfolded to different places, and it's sort of like a bit sort of heavy duty. I want to be able to show Australia that the cannabis community is exactly what it seems to be. A group of beautiful people that just want to be able to live their lives without somebody else imposing, arresting, kicking in their door with a gun, or surrounding them in a park when they're trying to have a nice barbecue with their friends. Seems a bit unfair, especially with a budget that is always seeming to be stretched. Look, I'm going to trim down for a while and have a drink, say hello to a few people that have turned up. Tune in a bit later on as people turn up and the music kicks off with Bresman. And remember, if you're in the Melbourne region, if you're within 30 minutes of the Melbourne region, come down. Don't come down with the intention, as I said, of getting stoned. It's not about that. Come down, hang out with your friends, make some new friends. You know? Go somewhere else later and, you know, hang out and get stoned. Meet new people. Become part of your community. Help show everybody the happy smiling faces that make up our community. Thank you. It's been awesome, as always, being here at Flagstaff Gardens, talking to you guys.